Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing so-called Begpacking or Begpackers here in Thailand. And the thing about this issue is it's come up sort of in multiple different contexts in the past couple of weeks, and I recently saw an article about it in Khao English. And I've had friends ask me sort of about this offhand, and sort of unprompted, and I've also had a couple of clients ask me about it in light of other immigration things, and it's just sort of come up in conversation over the past few weeks. And it's sort of always my opinion that coincidence is God winking at you. So I figured I'd go ahead and make a video on this topic because people tend to not really understand what's going on with this. Begpacking, as it's called, is quite controversial. There are people that really have a massive problem with it. There are other people that are just as adamant that there's nothing wrong with it and it should almost be sort of encouraged. My personal opinion is I think it's rather odd to come to a foreign country, to be sort of a guest in a foreign country and start begging in that foreign country, especially where you have folks that are coming from Western countries doing that in countries that are in the more developing world. That being said, to each their own. I'm not particularly making this video to make judgments. I'm more interested in discussing the sort of legal aspects of it with respect to so-called begpackers here in Thailand, because those who get caught begpacking or those who are subject to police scrutiny while undertaking such activity could have some serious problems here in the Kingdom of Thailand. In a recent article from Khao English, that's khaosadenglish.com, the article is titled 2 in 5 Thais Accept Begpackers, Survey Says. Quoting directly, despite widespread online outrage against tourists busking on the streets of Asia, a survey has found that nearly half of Thais have a sabai impression of begpackers. That's sort of a live and let live, whatever sort of impression of begpackers. Quoting further, however, begpackers who often try to engage in novel forms of begging, such as street performances, selling goods, or offering hugs, and that actually occurred, that there was a case involving that in the past, are not necessarily more successful at getting donations. Quoting further, and this is quoting from a city compliance officer, a so-called TESA kit officer, which is somewhat unique to Thailand. The TESA kit, I would liken it to sort of the metro police or the subway police, for example, in like a city like New York. They have a specific remit. They're not real, it's my understanding they don't have arrest powers per se, but their job is to sort of monitor the public commons of the city and, maintain working thoroughfares, allow people to get through, etc. I think they're a rather necessary component of Bangkok because it can be such a congested city in places. But that being said, moving forward, this TESA kit officer who apparently did not want to be named was quoted as saying, "Actually, it's against the law to beg on the streets, but I don't want to catch them as I feel pity and want to give them a chance. So rather than turn them into proper authorities or, make a report against them, just sort of turns a blind eye." I urge those who are interested in this topic to read this article. Again, it's 2 in 5 Thais Accept Begpackers, survey says, and that's khaosadenglish.com. My comment on this is purely from a legal standpoint. Those who are looking to come to Thailand and engage in this activity should be very, very cautious. This could be construed as not only working illegally in Thailand, but also could be construed as being a direct violation of one's immigration status here in the kingdom. Moreover, it could be a violation of various criminal ordinances, things like loitering, vagrancy, etc. And a foreigner that's in Thailand doesn't really want to get arrested under any circumstances, but also foreigners, after they're processed, and sometimes processing can take the length of their visa. For example, these folks coming in may come in on like a 30-day stamp. It may take a couple of weeks to process them. They may have already been in Thailand a couple of weeks. And so when they're processed out, they're no longer in visa status. that means remand over to the Immigration Detention Center for further processing and deportation. And if somebody has no money, then they could be stuck in the Immigration Detention Center for a fairly prolonged period of time, because immigration detention has to make arrangements for their onward travel, and they may have to do a certain amount of time in order to make up for the fine associated with their overstay. So I really would urge those watching this video, if you're thinking of coming to Thailand and being a quote-unquote bagpacker, there are multiple different legal reasons for not doing so that could result in not only arrest but prolonged detention, and that's just simply not a place you really want to put yourself when thinking about going to a foreign country. We hope you found this video insightful. For those of you who are interested, we're trying to make videos to provide up-to-date information as soon as this information comes out, and for that reason it may be a good idea to go ahead and click the bell button, the bell icon below, to go ahead and be updated as these videos come out, as you can go ahead and be apprised of the legal situation as it evolves.